Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Hello to all of you who are watching this on the replay. It's been a minute, y'all, since I have been able to come on. So I have been under the weather and I am doing much better. So thank you so much for your prayers. So listen, you guys, as we are still journeying through the book of Mark, we are in Mark chapter 10, verses 35 through 45. And in this particular passage of scripture is when James and John asked Jesus to be on his left and to his right. And so Jesus tells them, can you drink of the cup that I'm going to drink and the baptism that I'm going to be under the baptism? And they said yes. And he told them, you surely will. But to put somebody on the left or right is not mine to give. But the other 10 became indignant against James and John. And here's my thought for us to consider this morning is, why you mad? Why you mad? And so have you ever had a situation where somebody thought of something or asked something, you thinking, man, I wish I would have thought about that. Or why wasn't I thinking about that? Or I should have went and asked when it was first in my mind to do, and you didn't do it. And so somebody else who had the confidence, who had the gall to do it, they did it. And you're sitting back like, man, that should have been me. And I'm wondering if this was the situation with the other 10 disciples. Were they wishing that they had been the ones to ask Jesus that? Were they thinking that all of the time, but yet they were afraid to approach Jesus in that manner? I don't think James, and I could be wrong, so somebody correct me, but I don't think James and John were trying to be arrogant in their request. I believe they have been walking with Jesus and they have already witnessed him do so much, and they wanted to make sure they were with him all the time. Okay. And sometimes we get mad at people for having the confidence to do things that we didn't. And it's not that we didn't think about it. It's not that it wasn't, in our mind or in our heart. We just didn't have the confidence to do it. And so when we see somebody else walking out the vision that we saw for ourselves, sometimes we can get a little bit in our feelings. Sometimes we can get a little testy. We can get a little, when in actuality, we really wish it was us. And so I want you to think about, what is stopping you from doing what you really want to do? Now I'm talking about positive stuff, y'all. What is really stopping you from going all the way out? What is really stopping you from taking that leap of faith? What is really stopping you from doing the things that you keep mulling over in your mind and you thinking, man, I really wish I can do this. I really wish I would have done this, or things of those nature. What's really stopping you? Why are you mad at somebody else? Hey, Brother Ron, why are you mad at somebody else for asking to do something that you're scared to do? Could it be that the other 10 were scared to ask Jesus, hey, I really do want to be on your left or to your right? Okay. And so Jesus quickly turned around into a lesson. And he says the Pharisees and Sadducees, lord it over you as far as titles. But he told them that shouldn't be among you. Whoever wants to be first has to be last and has to be a servant. A lot of us, good morning, April, a lot of us want to be great, but we don't want to go through the process. A lot of us want to skip levels just to say we skip levels, but we don't want to serve anybody. We want the title, we want the position, but we don't want the responsibility. We want people to acknowledge us, but we don't want the track record that goes with it. See, sometimes you don't know what somebody else has already done as the reason why God is elevating them. All you see is the elevation, but you don't see the hell they had to go through. You don't see the sacrifices they had to make. You don't see the stuff that they had to give up and what they had to endure. You don't see none of that. All you see is the elevation. Good morning, Corey. And then you want to have something to say. Why are you mad? Don't get so caught up in, I want to be great, that you forget you got to go through the process. I'm going to be honest, when there's certain things that God wants, when he tells me to do certain things in ministry, I'm like, I'm not so quick to do it, because I realize there's a process to that. And can I be honest with y'all? Sometimes I don't want to go through the process, because I know the process is going to require more of me in something. And I'm going to have to let go of some things and some people in order to get there. It's going to cause a disruption. Good morning, Shalise. And so sometimes I don't want to have to explain stuff to people. And I'm thinking, God, I don't know about that right there. I don't know if I really want to go through all that. Sometimes that's how I feel. I'm thinking, God, and it take me a minute to give him my total yes, because I'm thinking, oh my. But I know on the other side of that is the blessings that I'm already praying for. See, a lot of times we're praying for grand things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But understand, there's a process to get to the other side. Sometimes there's some storms you got to go through to get to the other side. Some valleys you got to walk through to get to the other side. Some mountains you got to go up to get to the other side. So don't be so quick to get mad at people when they're asking for things that you're too afraid to ask for, that you don't have the confidence to walk out. All right? Don't be like the other 10 and get indignant over those who have the boldness to say, God, this is what I really want. And then you see God doing it because they had a mustard seed of faith. See, where's your mustard seed of faith at? All he requires is a mustard seed of faith. Where's your mustard seed of faith? So we have to check ourselves. And we have to say, Shantae, why are you afraid to go to the next level? Why are you afraid to make this next step? Why are you afraid to do what you really have in your heart to do? Why are you afraid? And then when you see somebody else living it out, you thinking, man, and you see what it look like, you thinking, oh, I want that, but you got to go through the process. All right. So we have to be willing to go through the process. All right. So that is our Grace for It Friday, y'all. Don't be mad. Just go through the process. Go through the process. So our prayer this morning is for God, just help us to go through the process. Help us to get out of ourselves and to go through the process. To not get mad at other people for walking in their greatness. To having the boldness and the confidence to ask you for it. And we're too afraid to go to you in prayer about it. We won't even mention it. We just let it stay hidden. Let it stay in our journals. Let it stay in our heart. So, Father, help us to walk in the boldness and the courage and the confidence to where we need to be. That's what it's all about, y'all. So don't get mad when you see other people walking in greatness. You don't know what they had to go through. You don't know what they had to go through. All right. So listen, y'all. So ladies, I have 9 tickets left for the Grace for It Conference 2023. And I have 1 sponsored ticket left to give away. Now, if you would like to come to the conference, and you do not have the resources to buy a ticket, send me an email to info@greaterwomen.com and let me know. Now listen, don't take the sponsor ticket if you're not gonna come. Only ask for the ticket if you are really going to be in the place. Okay? So I have 1 sponsor ticket left to give away, and I'm super excited about that. So let me just tell y'all how good God is. I don't even do sponsored tickets anymore. One year I had 6 sponsored tickets and nobody who had a sponsored ticket show up. And I told my team after that, never again will I ask anybody else to sponsor a ticket. Can I be honest with y'all? I was hot. Your girl was hot because it was sold out. I had 6 free tickets and nobody showed up that had a free ticket. One person had the integrity to let me know that they had a family emergency that morning and could not come. But nobody else showed up that had a free ticket. And so I actually gave away a ticket that I didn't announce to somebody who needed it. And I gave away a ticket and God blessed me with 2 tickets. So this is for those of you who put on events, don't be afraid to sow seeds in somebody else's life. Don't worry about it. God always covers the back end. God always covers the back end. All right. So remember, everything that God allows to come our way, He's already graced us to handle it so that we can have a greater working day on purpose. You guys have an amazing weekend. I love you all and thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.